Today on Fight Insight Podcast, we will have MMA commentator and my fellow Filipina, Vanessa Campos, followed by UNF Rising star Byron Valle, who will be fighting for the UNF Rising Stars Bantamweight title on July 6th. All that and more. So, Tim, hit it! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fight Insight Podcast.
All right, Raine, our first guest today. We've got two guests, but our first guest is a model. She's an action movie star, starred with Michael Bisping in Never Back Down Revolt. She's a martial artist who's competed in the ring, and now she's an MMA commentator for MCP Greece. She's coming to us from London, England, where she resides with her husband. I'm very sorry to all the dudes watching. But she's originally from the Philippines. So, Raine, you must know her. She's a person like us, Raine, that is pursuing her dream just like we are in the world of combat sports. So I'm so happy and honored to have her here today. I've been seeing her on Instagram and I'm like, I got to get this person on. So Raine, bring her in.
Please welcome Vanessa Campos.
What's up, Vanessa? How are you?
Hi guys, I'm so excited to be here. I mean, like, look at you both beautiful people. Look at that setup. I mean, I'm so sorry I have these two beautiful things here, you know?
You're in London, England. Yeah. You're in London, England. Why do you not have some fish and chips with you?
Oh my gosh, no. People think, actually, yes. London, England's known for their fish and chips, tea. But no, it's late night. You're not gonna have fish and chips that late night.
I don't know. It's always a good time for fish and chips, Vanessa. I don't know what's wrong with you. But of course you're not gonna have fish and chips. You're a model, you're an action movie star. You know, we've seen you all over the place. First question, did you get to talk a lot with Michael Bisping on set?
Yes, I did. I actually did. We shared some scenes together. He gave me some CBD oil. That was really interesting. Of course, he has to, I guess he's sponsored by the brand. How fighters talk, he's a big personality. He's really tall. I think the first thing I said to him was like, wow, you are like really tall in person. I'm short generally anyway, but he's a big persona. I mean, kudos to him for what he's done to his career. It was fun to work in that film. Interesting, learned many things. Never acted in my life. So definitely a first of many, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I really do hope to see you again. You are our second movie star on the podcast. Second action female movie star. The first one we had was Juju Chanzito. I don't know if you heard. She's in a ton of movies. She just actually gave birth to a baby, so congratulations to Juju. But she was in, oh my goodness, she's in like a whole bunch of movies. She was actually in a movie recently with Nicolas Cage called Jiu-Jitsu, which has zero jiu-jitsu in it, so I don't understand the title. And she's always known for her nunchuck skills. Like, she uses the nunchucks in all the movies, and she was in a very cool show with the Filipino action star. What the heck's that guy's name? The guy that does all the martial arts. Quickly, both of you.
Filipino guy that does all the martial arts?
Yeah. You don't know? Oh, this is terrible podcasting now because I don't know the name. But
wait, answer. Go, Raine, go.
No.
You don't know the guy. He's like in everything. Hold on.
He's Filipino? Because we would know.
No, you know what? Maybe he's not Filipino. He was in Wu Assassins.
You mean the Indonesian guy?
Yes. Iko Uwais?
Yes, he's Indonesian.
Is he not Filipino? I always think. Okay, he looks exactly like my Filipino friend Rob. Like, they're spitting images of one another. But anyway, she was in that show, which is amazing, on Netflix, called Wu Assassins, and she plays one of the main characters. So you are our second action movie star, Vanessa. When are we going to see you in another action movie?
Oh my gosh, hopefully soon. I mean, there was a lot of backlog with the protests, with the SAG actors, the union. That it was great that we were fighting for our rights, because we don't get represented as a talent as a whole. People think it's just, okay, they're actors, great, but also we have needs, basic rights to live. I think people forget that we're human at the end of the day. But I would like to maybe tap myself into drama side, the like dramatic, maybe we'll see.
Nice. Very cool.
Maybe.
Very cool. Now, you're born in the Philippines.
Yes.
Now you're in London, England. You were training in Thailand as well, I think.
I
Were
was
you?
training in Ireland, Dublin, Ireland. Conor McGregor.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, SBG. That's where actually everything started.
oh, okay. So take us through that though, because you're a kid in the Philippines.
Yes.
How does that work out that you get to Ireland, and why are you training in martial arts?
Yes, I'm a proud Filipino. I love being Filipino. I'm so happy that Raine is in this industry as a fellow Filipina. Like that is incredible. First of all, kudos, Raine.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. And then basically I wanted to go into fighting. Because I saw this gym and these two women were fighting and I was like, that's really cool. I've never seen that before. Two female fighters taking it in a professional level. And met Conor and his team and John Kavanagh in Ireland. And I was like, I want to go for it. I wasn't the best fighter, just going to be honest with you. Skilled, but not the best. And that's fine. And John Kavanagh was like, you're never going to be pro. I was like, okay. Like, fine. That's good. Like a young, eager, like, fighter. And he was like, why don't you do the media side? So it was actually him that really helped me, motivated me to go into another direction that, was like actually what I think I was born to do, if that kind of makes sense. That sounds really cheesy. But, when you have a dream, it's like, oh, I'm going to be a pro. And it doesn't go your way. But then a new opportunity, a new door opens. So that's how everything started, to be honest.
Okay, but wait, how old are you when you get to Ireland?
So I get to Ireland when I was about, like, I would say like 16, 17.
Oh, okay. You moved with your family, or are you just on your own?
Oh, just on my own, yeah. I went Philippines, London, Toronto, Ireland. That makes sense.
Oh, that's right. For all the people, all my friends that are here in Toronto, Vanessa used to live in Toronto, so you probably recognize her from there.
I like Tim Hortons. If
Tim Hortons?
Here I am.
Yeah. There you go. Actually, you know what's so funny? We had Drickus Duplessis on the podcast, and we told him that when he fought in Toronto, he should hold a Tim Hortons cup everywhere he goes, and people would have loved it because it would have been so cool, right? So then you're in Ireland. How long are you training before Kavanagh tells you give it up? You're not going to be a pro fighter. And it's okay that you're not going to be a pro fighter because you could still be like an amateur fighter. You could still compete, still have fun. But how long before he tells you you're not going to be pro?
6 months.
Oh, okay. I mean, I feel like you could still grow, Vanessa. I say you go back and keep training.
No, I was training even before that, but like I was still training after that. But within the 6 months, like coaches are gonna notice. Coaches are gonna notice within the 3 months. Okay, maybe a month. But I think he gave me like a leeway. Maybe she'll improve in the next. But I didn't. Like I was like this, and then I was like that.
You know what? Is it? I'm gonna take a guess here, Raine, just meeting Vanessa for 5 seconds. I think it's because you're too nice. Because the thing is, I don't know. Because you know what? Here's the thing. Did you want to kill people? Because when I watched your fight, and you did very well too. Like when I watched one of your fights online, and I think you did well. It was a Muay Thai fight. I think I was watching, or kickboxing, but Muay Thai. It was a good fight. But is it that you just didn't want to kill people? Because I feel like some people don't have that kind of switch that they can turn on.
Exactly. No, it's so true. So the current gym I'm with now, Kraken MMA in the UK, really, really great MMA gym, building fighters from like bottom up. And SBG, so there's levels to fighting, right? SBG was the gym that's for like pro. It was pro gym. You came in there as a pro. You do your fight camp. That was the first thing I saw. I was like, wow, I want to do this. But I think you're right. I don't have the killer instinct. They all did. And that's why they succeed. I think fighters have this mentality of like, it's not to kill. It's just like, it's to live or die in the ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I eat and live and then die. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But okay, so then, but I like it because then he says, hey, but if you want to enjoy the sport and you want to be part of this, you should go down the media route.
Mm-hmm.
So then what happens from there? Because you
So
can't
what
just snap your finger and be in media.
No. I had to work my way up, of course.
Mm.
Like still training as a fighter. I was still training. This was after competing under their team, and I was like, yeah, you're right. Maybe let's not go to the pro route. So I was like, okay. So how do I get into this? So he was like, you need to listen to Megan O'Leary. You need to catch up on the fighters. You need to interview the fighters in the gym, the pro fighters that we have in SBG. So that's what I did. You know, in my spare time, I was watching fights, interviewing the fighters, and I didn't even have the gear. I just had my phone and a tripod. And at the time, Instagram wasn't so like what it is now. So I had to learn the trick of the trade, how to use Instagram. And these fighters were so nice. I think people forget how nice fighters are. And they were great. And Kavanagh was like, okay, I think you're ready. Let's do Bellator London. So that was my first big like show. I met the legend, Hoist Gracie. Thank you so much, Hoist. I mean, he was incredible. We talked about honey for the face. You know, I think we forget that humans. And that's how he stays young. Have you seen his skin?
Yeah. I mean,
honey.
Honey's very moisturizing, by the way.
Yeah, honey. Any honey brand?
yeah, we need a honey sponsorship. Okay, but wait, what do you mean go to Bellator? How do you what do you mean? You just go to Bellator? Like what happens?
So there was connections. He was like, talk to this person, talk to this person. Then there was fight week, right? Fight week is when you go interview the fighters, all the journalists come in. So I came in there and like people were so nice and they were like, oh, you want to get into MMA media? Start interviewing these fighters. Okay, great. So we did weigh-ins. That was great. And then Bellator London happened and the show happened. So I sat with journalists, and that was like the experience of a lifetime. Really, I learned how to analyze a fight. I learned how to talk fast and what points you want to talk about in the media. I mean everything, like really. And that was like a master course. Would you call it like a master university course for MMA media? Yeah. And from then, I got into commentating, and it was just, it just kept like going and going. And I was like, you know what, we could do something with this. I like this. I love this. That was it.
It's amazing.
You're making it sound much easier than it really is. You're going to give a lot of people false hope. You know what I mean?
It's so boring. The whole details. You need to do a whole Netflix special. Netflix.
Yeah. We've already got a dating show that Raine and I are going to be making on Netflix. It's fighters on like a Love Island, and it's going to be a whole thing. And normally I ask my guests, will you be on our dating show? But you're married, so you're out.
Yes, I'm married to a doctor.
Aww.
Wait, is it a chiropractor? What kind of doctor is he?
No, he's a sports doctor. He's training as a sports doctor. He's
does he go to the fights too then?
Yeah, we work on
Nice.
fights. So it's like a holiday / work. Holly work.
Wait, so he's the doctor for the fights when you go to your thing?
Yes.
That is crazy.
That's
is that how you met him?
No, that's not how we met. We actually met back in Toronto University. And then he was the one studying medicine in Ireland. I was like, I went.
Oh. You're telling me you chased a dude?
I did.
This dude didn't chase you?
Lucky guy.
Even.
What?
Yeah.
I mean,
you know?
Jeez Louise, look at you go. So, okay, so then now you're commentating, and you're commentating for MCP Greece. How many times have you commentated so far?
I've commentated for 3 times now. Wow.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. And I keep learning. The first time was rusty. First time was rusty, right? You get the jitters, you get the nerves. I didn't even know that you can't breathe on the camera. I didn't know that. You guys know that. You have professional. No clue. And I didn't know that the sound, and there's a Greek version and there's an English version.
Mm.
So
Oh.
it's a Greek promotion. There's Greek and English. So you have to like numb out the Greek, listen to the English. So that was really cool to learn. I learned some Greek words.
Yeah. What is, say something in Greek? What do you got?
Okay, I'm gonna butcher this, but efaristo means thank you.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Amazing. Good job. So, okay, but here you, and can I ask, your accent is a little bit different to me. It's not what I'm expecting. What is your accent? Is it Filipino accent? Is it London accent? Is it a mix?
I think it's everything. I think it's a mix. I mean, Filipino accent generally has an Americanized accent anyway. But yeah, definitely a mix.
It sounds different though, Raine, does it not? It doesn't sound
I
like a
hear
Filipino.
some sort of like British accent, like in some words.
Yeah, I think you're picking it up.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Well, because I feel like, you know, she interviews a lot of people too, you know, a lot of fighters. And then
Right.
I think kind of like just like pick it up from there too.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. Ooh.
So, okay, so you're doing this thing for MCP Greece and you're like full time now. You're going to be doing it with MCP Greece all the time. You're on board?
I'm on board with them. The next show's in November.
Congratulations. Woo! And so how many events does MCP Greece have in a year? Do you know, like on average?
On average, I think they try to do 2 to 3 a year. So 1 international one and 1 or 2 local ones.
Okay.
So they're trying to do like, you know how UFC does UFC Vegas and then UFC Singapore.
Right.
I think that's what they're trying, which is great, amazing for the promotion, amazing for the fighters, you know, great to promote international talent. I think that's how things should be done.
Nice. All right, cool. Now, you're a Filipina commentating for MCP Greece. How has the Filipino community been with having you? Because you're like a Filipino star now in movies and in an American movie, right? Like Never Back Down Revolt is like a legit movie. You're in that. And then here you are now commentating for an MMA organization. You don't see that a lot, like never. So how has the reaction been by people? Filipino and non-Filipino, I guess.
Honestly, I think they're just proud to see diversity on screen. That gets said a lot, but really, like, I think it doesn't even matter if you're Asian, whatnot, but if you're colored like me, and Raine, you know, to see that on screen, little girls are gonna look up to you, be like, oh my god, I can be that too. And I think that's just the main goal, really. Like, you can go chase whatever you want. I mean, my mom doesn't even watch fights, but just to see her reaction, be like, oh, someone else from her generation, like, you know, who's Filipino or who's Asian is on screen. And I think we need to start changing boundaries in media. Because, you know, most of the time, and there's nothing wrong with how, you know, other ethnicities, but I think it's time for change. Bridgerton is doing that right now on Netflix, hiring actors that are, you know, from different backgrounds, and it just enriches the story, enriches the media that you're watching, the production that you're watching. I think we add value to the production rather than discrediting that value. I think people forget, and some people have like, of course, smaller mindset, and that's fine, and I think we're here to educate them.
Yeah, no, definitely, very well said. I think it really, you can't underestimate how important it is that when someone is out there that represents a different community or a different ethnicity and someone sees it, how many more people might flock to that show. So MCP Greece is very smart to have you on there because, yeah, you're someone different, you're something different, and it's only going to attract more eyes. You know what I mean? So I'm so proud of you. I mean, like, Raine's kicking ass doing her thing as a ring announcer, cage announcer in California. I just got back from Fight League Atlantic. I've been commentating. I commentated my 5th show. So you and I are eventually, Vanessa, you and I are going to be up for the same job, and we're going to fight each other. And we're going to be mortal enemies. And Raine, you're going to have to pick who you back.
I'm just gonna
because,
announce you both. I'm just gonna
you know,
introduce both of you,
no, we're not
and then
going to
that's
fight,
it.
like we're fighting for the commentating job. You know what I mean?
No, but that shouldn't be it. It should be like another seat for the person for
Okay,
the.
fine.
You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so here's the thing. MCP Greece, you've got Vanessa Campos, but you don't got Timmy B. So
Oh,
you bring Timmy B over to sit with Vanessa, and who's going to be announcing in the cage, Vanessa?
Raine.
There you go. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do that. Like this is it right here. You know what I mean? How cool will it be, though? In all honesty, in a few years when we all find ourselves working together on a show.
Mhm.
That would be so much fun. I think we won't get things done.
Now I have to edit that out, Vanessa, because then no one's going to hire us if you say that we're not going to do anything.
Just gonna so much laughter, and the energy is just like, and we like just met like 2 seconds ago. It's crazy.
That's right. Exactly. But that's what I mean. That is important, though. Vanessa, Raine was saying, like, you know, you're interviewing the fighters, and maybe that's how you're getting your bit of a different accent. But how has it been? Like, what do you think is the most challenging thing about interviewing fighters or speaking about fights? Like, what have you found to be the most challenging part of it?
Okay, so on the commentating side, I find the most challenging not being biased because
Mm.
like I don't get to know the fighter anyway. I know them by paper. I know them by doing my research. And okay, I kind of lean into this fighting style. Oh, I kind of like that fighting style, but you can't. You cannot be biased. And I think that's the hardest thing in commentating. And you just need to be equal gender, like just talk about both fighters in a professional way, like how you would
Yeah.
in like analyzing the fight. But yeah, not being biased. Especially, I think I'm gonna find it hard when there's a Filipino fighter that I have to.
Oh, I know.
You know what I mean? I think I'm scared. I think they should just not give a fighter who's from the Philippines.
Yeah.
Every
Are
time
you-
there's a Filipino fighter that I meet,
Mm.
and I'm like, "Are you Filipino? Do you speak Tagalog?"
Right?
And
And
I
then
try not to be super friendly because it's like I don't want his opponent to think that I'm favoring him.
exactly. And then you get to know these fighters, and it's like, wow, they have all these amazing stories. But you have to stick to the job. Yes, we do
Yeah.
tell fighter stories, but at the end of the day, I'm calling fights. Like I'm talking about the technique that they're doing on in front of me in the cage. So yeah, I think that's one thing that I wasn't told getting into this. Yeah, it's like the emotional connection to the fight. Yeah.
Yeah. You're very right. Now wait a second. You don't contact the fighters beforehand or talk to them beforehand, even like backstage or anything like that?
No, I think
Oh.
on the presenting side, before I used to in the post-fight interviews, because I want to know the details. What questions would you like me to ask you? But very briefly, like we get called in on fight week, weigh-ins. That's when I actually meet the fighters during weigh-ins. And then,
Okay.
okay, another second thing, really difficult thing, is pronouncing the names.
Yep.
That's so hard for me anyway, especially if they're
No,
great.
for sure. For sure, if you have like a culturally spoken name, like with the dialect or whatnot, that's difficult. But even sometimes we, like Raine and I constantly, we have guests on this show every week. Every time their name is something different than how it reads. So it's very hard. I mean, we had the last one it looks like it should say Sam Reno, but then when we have him on, he's like, no, it's Rhino.
Oh.
And so, like, at Raine, all at FLA 15, because he was the co-main event, and he won in glorious fashion.
Oh, congratulations, Sam.
It was crazy, Raine. But the whole event, like I'm hosting the weigh-ins, and I'm like, Sam Rhino, and then people come up to me after and go, hey, you got his name wrong. It's Rhino. And I'm like, no, it's Rhino. And there was one guy, like his nickname, because I try to talk to the fighters before, like the week or even the month before, to like get a little bit of stories about them or something. And one guy's nickname was the Glace Bay Brawler, Jesse the Opper Whopper.
That's
and
hard.
so when I call him up, and then there was someone like sitting in the front row of the weigh-ins, he's like, I think you said that name wrong. I think it's Whopper. And I'm like, no, it's Opper Whopper. Like but like everything can be so difficult, but you want to give respect to the fighters or the respect to the people, and you want to do it right. I know, Raine, you say that like you do that all the time, right? With announcing.
Yeah, I always have to double check on how to pronounce a fighter's name, because to me, it's like, I feel like when I announce someone, when I introduce someone, I'm basically speaking for them. So to me, in my head, I got to say it the right way. And I feel like I don't want to ruin, their psyche, basically, if they hear their name wrong, right? I feel like somehow that would make them feel like, what the hell? She said my name wrong. Like that's going to be a bad luck. I don't want that.
Yeah. No, that's right, Raine. That's crazy. But yeah, no, but so Vanessa, like here you are, you're out there, you're kicking butt, you're doing your thing.
Mm-hmm.
What is the ultimate goal for you? Like where do you want to see this go? Because 1FC is a very Asian market, lots of Filipino fighters. UFC, obviously, the top level, the goal. PFL and Bellator, I mean, they're kind of weird right now. I don't even know if you want to go there. But but where would you wait, why are you saying they're weird?
I didn't say anything.
No? Did you not? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do in the future for Vanessa Campos?
I mean, of course, the UFC is the top dog, top goal. But for me, I would like to just keep commentating as much fight as I can. Internationally, I think is the goal. Like hitting different markets, reaching different audience, I think would be great as well. Getting more females into fighting. People see it as so brute. But the way I want to talk about it is actually there's so much art into it that people don't realize. And just showing the fight community who they are. It's not all about brutality, and I think there's so much beauty into it. That's my goal with commentating. For the movie side, I'd like to, of course, work with John Wick, my boy, Keanu Reeves. It would be great if we can spar jiu-jitsu, we could roll, or just like as an extra would be great. Like I can get killed within 5 seconds, no problem. I'd like to watch the John Wick series because they have the best combat action right now. For me anyway, that's what I see. They use the best guys. The Indonesian martial artists right now are worked on the past 2 films with them, right? So I'd like to showcase, maybe our niece, Filipino martial arts one day on screen. I mean, they were using it on Dune for Austin Butler. Why not an actual Filipina doing it on screen? Not like, yes, great, Hollywood, wonderful, amazing, but an actual Filipina that does martial arts to do on screen. That would be great, one day. Who knows?
Yeah, like tomorrow. Whoever, like, yeah, any agent, whatever, watching. Do you have an agent? Do you have an agent for this stuff?
Do have an agent, yes.
All right. Well, we can yell at him if you'd like. Just give us his email and we'll yell at him, to say, like, hurry up and get Vanessa some shots at this because we want to see it.
Right? Yeah. Let's just push more Asians or any diverse cast. Why can we not make a Bridgerton action? Right? Like an action Bridgerton style. Okay, maybe not in that period, but
Yeah.
the diverse...
I mean, you may be losing me here, Vanessa. I think you got to stick with the John Wick, like a spin-off thing where you can be in there or something. The Bridgerton action sequences are they're not happening.
With a high heel and like a big, what are those dresses called? The big English.
Yeah.
No. Yeah,
I mean, I really hope no one catches me on this, but my wife and I just finished season 3 yesterday, so don't judge me. But
was it good? Was it good?
No, it was terrible. So stupid. But you start watching it, you just get stuck into watching it. But
yeah.
Okay. I mean, it could have used some action sequences. I'm just gonna say. Yeah. Now, Vanessa, I do want to ask you. Okay, so first of all, the 1FC has no female commentators at all. No female commentators. They do have the female announcer, Nara. and she does a fantastic job. She's coming on the podcast actually, so we're getting her on. She's coming on soon. So they have her, but they don't. But what's weird about her? They never have her on camera. She doesn't go in the ring.
In the ring.
She stays off on the desk. Yeah, it's very weird. I don't know why they do that. She stays behind a desk. She doesn't go in the ring. When I have her on, I'm going to ask her why she's not in that ring, because she's a good-looking girl too. She's very cool. She's got like cool hair. She's got a cool style. I don't know why she's not in the middle of that ring announcing. But anyways, you could go to ONE FC for sure. I think you should definitely look into that market.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely, that would be like wonderful if, you know.
Or Octagon MMA too, remember? When we had Dennis de Menace Frimpong.
That's right.
That's based in Europe too.
Yeah.
Yes,
now, I don't want the MCP Greece to get mad at us, Raine. We're just giving her ideas. That's all.
No, we're just trying to get a job out there too, and now
we're all
mad at
working
us.
here.
Bus.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it all though, right, guys? I mean, MCP Greece has 3 shows. You're still going to do that. You could just do like another organization as well, right? And it only furthers everybody's popularity. But Vanessa, you talked about Megan O'Leary as being someone that you kind of looked at, and to me, she's the best. To me, Megan O'Leary, what I like about her is that she portrays herself in a very professional manner. She's not being silly or anything like that. And so I want to ask you, because you seem like a modest woman, do you ever feel pressured to be something you're not?
100%. I mean, I think in general, outside of the media, outside of the fight game, as women, we are, right? Like what you see on ads, what you see on even shopping, you know, everything online. I really do admire Megan for what she's done. Also, Laura Sanko, kudos to her as the first female commentator for the UFC. Like, these 2 women are like what one day, hopefully, a Filipina can achieve as well, you know? I know we have influencers right now, and not discrediting influencers as a whole, you know, who are in the fight game talking about, I mean, some of them are getting commentating jobs, and fine, fair. They have the publicity, they have the look, but at the end of the day, it's fight knowledge. And that's what sets us apart, I think. You, me, Raine, Timmy, you know, like, we have that fight background that I think people kind of just forget. Like, yes, it's media, it's to sell fights. At the end of the day, it's TV. But people forget the crucial part, the knowledge of fights, you know? You're not going to want to get a musician who's never played an instrument in their life, but is an influencer or something. Again, not discrediting influencers. Yeah. I think that's where the fight game in boxing, you see that in boxing a lot. You know, people like Logan Paul, like, what is happening?
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm at with this.
Can I ask? Raine teased me because I was hosting the weigh-ins, and a couple weeks ago, Raine was like, and I said, like, I was nervous because my wife was going to be there for the first time while I was doing the weigh-ins, and I said, oh, I'm nervous, and of course, Raine right away goes, is it because there's going to be all the super hot dudes there with their good bodies, and you're going to feel bad? That wasn't the reason. But I want to ask you, Vanessa, your husband's the doctor there and all that, and is he jealous at all? Is he jealous that you're there with all these fighter dudes and stuff?
No, because he fights himself. I mean, so we're like all a fight team, you know? No, he's not. Like, I think it's just so normal for us to be in a fight environment, you know? So, and it's fun to work with each other in events because I get to see him across the cage and be like, you good? Yeah, good. No blood, good, cool. Yeah. So it's that. And checking up on me, is your voice okay? Because you've been speaking for like 6 hours straight on the mic. I'm like, good, all good. We just do hand signals. Good, cool, yeah, cool. It's like, it's so rare to work with your partner on an event. Like, not many people can say that, you know? And so it's really, really cool, I think. I think
that's awesome. Well, Raine, I know we have our next guest coming. I saw him pop in and he's left, but he should be coming soon. I want to give you the chance, Raine. Is there anything that you wanted to ask your fellow Filipina, Vanessa Campos?
Yeah. So for me, when you have like events that are not kind of like back to back, right? How do you stay on top of your game, right? Because like with fighting, you
Mm,
basically go to the gym, you train, right? But for me, what I experience sometimes is that when I don't have events every month, I get anxious. I start thinking, okay, how do I keep this thing going? For you, like, how do you do that?
Yeah, for sure. No, I totally agree. I think sometimes it's good to have breaks, right? Like, okay, relax your voice because it's a lot of tension on our throat. But how I practice is just drilling. It's just like fights,
Mhm.
drilling in the gym. I'm currently learning wrestling, so because I come from a striking background, so really learning wrestling is like is very difficult for a striker. So I think for me, it's like how I would train for a fight, almost, but not really, but in a different
Mm.
way. And people don't know this, but as an actor and a model as well, and being on TV as a commentator, you can get bruises. So during sparring, I have to tone it down,
Mhm.
especially 2 weeks out from a fight event that I have to commentate, or let's say I have to do a film or an audition. We can't. It's part of the contract. You cannot get bruises, and people forget that, I think. And yeah, so that's how I prep. I drill, and like, yeah, I do get anxious. Like, I want to be in an event. I want, like,
Uh-huh.
after an event, like, I don't sleep for a week because, like, so hyped up. Um, so I think like learning how to really relax. I think now, and just doing research, prep research.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's good.
yeah, that's a
Do
really
you
good
bring home
question, though,
tips for
Raine.
your what's that?
No, I was just gonna say that's a really good question because yeah, like in those breaks as a commentator, it's hard because like after the show, Vanessa. Sorry, I know you're gonna ask something else, Raine. But after the show, like you, as the show goes on, you feel like you're getting in your flow,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden there's like a 2 month break before the next show, and so it's hard to like get back to where you were when you start that next show.
Yes. Like, do you guys watch like your the production, like for example, your clips from the TV clip
Mhm.
before the event happens? Do you watch yourself, or how do you guys prep?
Like for me, I mean, once it's available, I do watch it. There's like certain parts wherein, for example, during the event, right? I feel like, oh God, like, I think I kind of like my tone is kind of different when I announce this bout, blah, blah, blah. So once I find clips online or once it's available for my promotion, I go back to that specific part and then just kind of, review it, right? To make sure that, okay, it's all in my head, or you know what, next time, don't do that.
True. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good too. Yeah. And you, Timmy?
Yeah, I'll listen. I'll watch as much as I can find or as much as they have. I'll listen to it back, normally to critique myself and figure out what I did wrong. For me, a lot of times, I don't know why, but like, uh, sometimes the mic isn't picking me up as loud as I should be, or maybe sometimes I'll use the same word a few times. Like I'll say, I don't know, oh, those were violent shots. What a violent kick. Like I'll say that same word and I'll be like, ugh, idiot, don't say the same thing, So I'll have to like kind of like watch myself for that. But yeah, I try to listen back, and then really like as a commentating gig, I try just to watch fights on mute and then just commentate over them to try and get
Oh,
into the flow. And I'll do that like a little bit more and more before the fight starts, or like before the event happens, or I'll listen to it with audio and I'll try and talk over them, almost like I'm having a conversation with the commentators that are there,
I like that. That's a good idea. That's really
Yeah.
cool. Done that. Okay, I'm gonna try it for this one. That's
Well,
cool.
don't listen to me. You're a far better commentator than I am. So don't take my advice. But Rain, you were going to ask something else.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know you're a proud Filipina. And, I was telling Tim before you joined in earlier that, I somehow got a follow from you on Instagram. And I was like, oh, so proud, right? When I saw your profile, because I was like, oh my God, fellow Filipina in the MMA world. And, to me, I get excited about that because I love what you talked about earlier about how, we show our pride, right? Want diversity. Um, so for you as a proud Filipina, how do you share your culture right? With your fellow commentators or the people that you work with? Do you bring lumpias to your events? Like,
I would love that. I mean, it's same to you, Ray. Like, I'm so proud to see you succeeding as a Filipino on screen in the fight world. So, girl, it goes same way.
thank you.
I don't bring lumpia because I can't cook Filipino food. It's really
Oh
bad
no.
out in the open now. I can't cook Filipino food,
Or you can
guys.
always pick it up, and just
I
say,
could,
"Hey, yeah, I was up all night doing
I
this."
could, yeah. No, but it's really interesting. Like in the Greek promotion, people thought I was Thai. When I started, it's like, oh, you do Muay Thai, are you Thai? So we get that a lot. But I was like, no, 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 I'm Filipino. I'm like, oh, what's Philippines? What do you do? What's the language? And I show them pictures like, hey, this is like my island. And they're like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. So I'm like the walking tourism of Philippines. Like, come to Philippines. This is the picture. The ocean. Literally, like I have it on like, what's it on your favorites on the phone? Like, okay, I already know when people ask about Philippines. This is what my favorites. This is the ocean. Yeah. Literally, tourism.
That's awesome.
You should
That's
hire
so
me.
funny.
Philippines tourism.
Yeah. Vanessa, I really appreciate you coming on. We'll definitely have to have you back on again because I
Mhm.
feel like our conversation is going. We could go forever and talk to you. So, I know I appreciate that it's late where you are in London. So thank you for staying up. But we will definitely have you back on if you don't mind. We would love to have you back and keep talking, especially like before your next show.
Mhm.
So that we can kind of like help hype that up. But, I really wish you all the best. I want to ask you one final question before we do let you go, though. And I see that our next guest is in the lobby, so he's going to hear this. So he's going to be able to cheat a little bit when I ask him. But I want to ask you, Vanessa, it's a question that my mom used to ask me all the time when I was growing up my whole life. So I want to ask it to you. Vanessa Campos, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you?
Oh, 1,000,000,000%.
Oh, we have never had 1,000,000,000% on our scale of 1 to 10.
Put
But
that
can
on
I
the
add?
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, our Hall of Fame award. But can I ask you why? Why are you so happy?
Because I'm living what I wanted to be, that I never expected. Like my little self would never have expected to go into martial arts. A lot of people are stuck and are not brave enough to chase their dreams. I think, yes, it's a grind. Yes, it's hard, but come on. Like, you only live once. You have to just go after it. Like, you can't just sit at home and mope. And those trolls, like people on their phone, I'm like, oh my God, go outside, feel the sun.
Mhm.
Go after it. I think, yeah. I mean, of course we have our bad days, but you have to be positive. My grandma always said, the coconut falls, so get back up.
I love it.
There you go. Thank you guys so much for
Your
having me.
your
The best.
law is very smart.
My
Lola.
love.
Lola. Yeah.
Lola. Yeah. But Vanessa, thank you so much. I really appreciate being able to meet you. It's so funny that like all three of us are very close in age for our journey. Like we're all very close to doing this around the same time. We're all driving for it, And I think it's so important to have like really good stand-up people in this industry. I like what you kind of said, Vanessa. You didn't put them down too much, but like those influencer people that don't really know the sport, aren't really part of it, and just looking to do it because it's the next cool thing. I'd much rather give someone that is really into the sport, like the three of us, like those opportunities. You know what I mean? Like people that are really doing it because they love it. So yeah. I'm excited to see wherever this journey takes you, Vanessa. We'll be behind you 100%. Get that ONE FC job, definitely. Like I feel like that's really right down your aisle. I mean, there are Filipino fighters in that organization, big time.
Yes, we'll have a whole lumpia party. Everyone's just
There
gonna
you go.
right? It's just gonna be karaoke.
Yeah. Yeah, ONE FC Lumpia. Like it's perfect. Vanessa,
right.
Thank you. Vanessa, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining the show. I appreciate it greatly. Your husband, say hello to him for us. And best of luck to both of you on the journey. You just got married last year?
Yes, we did. And we went to the Philippines. It was his first time. It was
very lovely.
Yes. Imagine a show of 3 of us in the Philippines. Or 4 of us, or all of us. That would be great.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, your husband will be the cut man.
Doctor.
So like, or the doctor. Yeah, or the doctor. Sure. Look,
Right.
the event in the Philippines, some of us may need to do dual roles. So you may have to be the cut man and the thing.
We will do everything. Timmy, you could be ring girl, ring boy, as well.
I'm willing to do it. Whatever I got to do to get the gigs. So Vanessa, thank you so much. It's been an honor to have you on. We will have you back 100%. But thank you so much. Good luck to you and to all the Filipinos watching and that are being supported and encouraged by you. Kick ass. Keep doing it because you're really like shining for them.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Have the best time. Enjoy. See you later.
Salamat,
See you later,
Vanessa.
See you. Bye.
Bye.
All right, Raine. That is it for Vanessa Campos. I'm so happy that we got to see her.
I know.
Because it's someone that I've been seeing online, and like for her doing her thing, it's similar to you. It's similar to how I saw you doing your thing. Now I see her. It's so cool to see these new people in the world and like what they're achieving for mixed martial arts. I do want to quickly say, because we do have our guest below, so I know we got to get him in here. Next week on the podcast, we have an influencer who is busting into the world of mixed martial arts. I'm going to play a clip because for those listening on audio, I can't just show a picture. But this is her here. I mean, if you're anywhere in mixed martial arts online, you've probably seen this girl popping up. Her name is Ali Mack. It's alimac.mma on Instagram. But here she is.
UFC Fight Night, Tyra versus Perez. Let's go. Oh, shit, got him there. Aye. We paused the TV before we went out to do a grocery shop. Now we're back, ready to watch the main event. How do you scroll this faster?
That is her. Have you seen her on your Instagram, Raine?
No.
No, she's growing like crazy. Like every
Really?
time I look
Okay.
at her Instagram, she's growing and growing. So she's kicking ass and doing a lot of good things. She seems like someone who's really loving the sport and she's kicking butt. So we're going to have her on next week, as well as another UNF fighter.
Yeah, we're going to have Anthony the Bully Romero next week.
What? I hate bullies, Raine. Is this guy like, what's wrong with this guy? Okay, very excited to have him. What else did I want to say? What else did I have to say quickly for friends of the podcast? Who did I want to shout out? Jenna Bishop did not win her fight at PFL, but she has enough points that she is moving on to the semifinals for her $1 million. And she's going to be fighting Dakota Jacheva, which was the European champion. So I'm still super happy for Jenna. And she lost a split decision to Tala Santos from the UFC. So that was a very good fight for her. A lot of experience. She's still going to semis. On the other side of the brackets, our good friend Liz Carmouche, who won an incredible fight in the PFL. She was down 2-0 and then she arm bars her opponent to get the win and get into the semifinals. And she will be fighting Tala Santos. So fingers crossed, it is going to be 2 Fight and Sight alumni, Jenna Bishop versus Liz Carmouche in the finals for the $1 million. And that way, Raine, no matter what, we're getting some money because...
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like it's because of us that they achieve success. So our next guest on the podcast, Raine, I'm very excited for this guy. He is an amateur fighter from Up Next Fighting in California, where obviously Raine is the announcer. His most recent win was actually his first ever submission victory when he made his opponent tap out by armbar in the first round. He has so much potential. He's only 20 years old. He's definitely motivated to win the UNF Rising Stars Bantamweight title at UNF 19 on July 6th. Raine hyped him up at his last bout at UNF. So now we are hyping him up again. Raine, you've said his name before, but bring him in.
Please welcome Byron Valle.
How's it going, you guys? Nice being on the podcast. I'm excited.
Byron is here. What's up, my friend?
Nothing much. Just finished up training, so I'm excited to get the podcast going.
Yeah, let's do this, buddy. Thank you. I'm sorry that we ran a little bit late. I appreciate it. That you're able to stick around, of course. Dude, no nickname for Byron?
Oh man, we're coming out with a new one. You know, we've been just trying to decide on finally getting it going, you know, and I feel like this is a big moment. Where I grew up, a lot of people, you know, don't really come out of like coming out the right way of where I grew up. So there's a saying that goes on. People call them trophies. So I'm gonna just people starting to call me the trophy. So I'm just gonna keep that one
Nice.
going. I like it. So
Ooh.
Yeah.
So Byron the Trophy Valle.
yes, sir.
Whoa.
Love it. I like it, dude. I like it. It's very unique. And so can you explain, I mean, since you're debuting it here now, this is a Fight Insight exclusive.
This is the breaking
What-
news, by the way.
Yeah, I need a flashing thing. Breaking news. Byron, what is the story though behind Trophy though? You said it's from where you were born, but what does that mean? Like, what does it represent?
So yeah, I mean, a lot of people that come out of like tough environments like the hood, like how I kind of grew up from, not that many people make it out and do successful things. So usually that's a saying that people like to say is that they're trophies. You know, those are the people that you strive to want to be inspired by, and so it's kind of like you're the shining pride joy of your neighborhood. So yeah, I thought it was really cool that people are starting to consider me that, and I get messages all the time and telling me how I'm inspiring people from where I grew up and stuff. So I mean, it motivates me more and more just to keep on pushing through. I know I'm very young, so I'm like I still got a lot of time, and it just feels cool to get recognition from where I grew up, because that's something that's very important for me.
That's cool, dude. And wait, where did you grow up? What is this area that you're talking about?
Oh, so I grew up in South Central LA, so it's like smack dab in the middle of like kind of Los Angeles area. So we got a lot of traffic that goes through from everywhere. So I mean, it's kind of like right smack dab in the middle.
Wait, South Central LA, is that where our other guest ghosted us?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I got a guy I need you to go. Do you mind?
Go ahead.
David Diaz. He's a bare knuckle fighter.
Oh yes, okay, I know who that is. Yeah.
He knows where he lives. Do you know where he lives? I'm just kidding.
No, I said I know who that is. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he ghosted us on the podcast, but he's a very good dude, man. I really like that guy. We're gonna have him on later. It's just something came up and he couldn't show up, so I'm just teasing. But that dude's a great dude, man. He's if you ever get the chance to train with him, he seems like a really good guy. Like when he's fighting, Byron, that guy is crazy. He's like an animal. You're like, this guy's insane. But then when you watch him on his Instagram, he's so thoughtful and he seems like a really good guy. So that's why I really wanted to have him on the podcast, because it's like such a Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing, right? Like in the ring, he's insane, but outside he just seems like such a good dude. And those are the kind of people we love to have on the podcast. Byron, you talk about wanting to be the trophy. You're only 20 years young. So for you to be able to already kind of acknowledge that and lean into it, knowing that you're going to inspire others, like how important is that for you? I think that's really cool.
I mean, it's super important to me. You know, I still have a lot of people that I know that in that whole area. So, you know, like it's I just want to show that there's also different paths. You know, I know like fighting a lot of people still are getting used to and stuff like that, but at least it's definitely better than doing wrong things. You know, like I don't like hurting people, but I mean, it's something that I kind of had to grow up and be good at, and so like to avoid problems. So I think it's just good to just show people that there's also like other paths, you know, and see people that you grew up with make it and do other things should be very inspiring. So I mean, I'm just glad that I'm able to put on for my city and just continue to keep on motivating people and show them there's a brighter side on the other side.
That's cool, man. And so, of course, I do want to highlight you're fighting here. And of course, the reason why we've got you on the podcast today is you're going to be fighting at the next fighting, which is here we go. UNF 19, which is Saturday, July 6th. There you are on the right. I mean, big event for you here. What are you feeling heading into this? Because this is your 6th amateur fight. Up next fighting one of the biggest promotions you could be a part of, right? They put on such incredible shows. They have the best cage announcer I've ever heard.
Oh, for sure.
Gee.
For sure. Got me super excited for my last one.
Yeah. How important is this fight to you for your career? Because this is, your 6th fight.
Oh, I mean, this is definitely important, like I'm just super excited to just, you know, I just made my debut for Up Next. So, I mean, just to get put in this opportunity right away was super amazing. I called for the title shot and I received it. So I'm just grateful for that. And they tell me all the time, like Ryan and Chris, that they want to market me very well. So it also is a good feeling also. So I'm super excited for this point in my career. This is my second opportunity to get a title. My only loss did come from a title shot. So I just want to make sure that I get this one done. And I've been training a lot more harder, training with a lot more people also, and just filling the holes that I had for that last time. And that showed my last fight. So now I'm just excited to just continue on going down this road and bringing a belt back for my coach.
Yeah. And what is the team that you train with?
So I train out of 2 gyms right now. So my home gym is Uprise MMA. That's a gym that we're just getting started with MMA wise, like just getting good guys there. And right now I'm just trying to motivate other guys. We have 3 other people on the card actually, and so just it's cool that I get to represent for my team and just make sure that I show them to keep on going. And then the other gym I come out of also now is Black House MMA. So I'm getting a lot of good work with those guys down there too.
Wait, who trains there from the UFC in Black House?
So we had a guy named Albert Morales that used to be in the UFC. He's probably gonna make it right back real soon. But we got a lot of people that are in the UFC that come down and train all the time. We've had Mackenzie Dern come down, Tabitha Ricci, just a bunch of people like that. Yeah.
Hold on, we saw the photo of you with Mackenzie Dern.
Yeah. Yeah. Super exciting.
For more reasons than one, Byron. Now,
yeah.
all the guys want to know, how was Mackenzie Dern? She a nice person in real life?
Super nice.
Yeah?
Yeah, super nice. Yeah. Super nice and super like respectful. You know, there's some people that, you know, sometimes just get in their head when they make it to that top level. And definitely did not get that vibe. She was super nice. There was a bunch of people asking for pictures, including me. So she definitely gave everybody enough time to, you know, just show their support.
Nice. Now, did you get to spar with Mackenzie Dern?
Unfortunately, I did not. You know, that was actually my first day at Black House. So it was just cool. You know, like I was super starstruck. I was like, oh man, you know, this is I'm making it to where I want it to be. You know, this has been a dream of mine for a long time. So it's just cool now I get to participate in these moments, you know.
That's like a very lucky first day.
Right?
I mean, you show up and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I know you.
I mean, did you just immediately pay your yearly fee right then and there? You're like, wait, Mackenzie Dern comes here? Just take my money. Yeah, I'm here. I'll tell you, the reason why I say, like, if you sparred with her, because she looks like she throws bombs. Like, she looks like she punches really hard. Like, I'd be very interested to see. You know what I mean? Like, I would like some. There's some people that, like, when I watch them, I'm like, man, I would love to spar with that person just to see like how they are. Like I always think like a Dominic Cruz, just to see his weird herky jerky motion.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, or like different people, because it's just so strange when you watch them. I think, does Ashley Evans Smith not train out of Black House, or did she not before? I feel like she might have.
Yeah, she may have, maybe just before I started. Yeah, I've only been there maybe around 4 months now.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
I know that you had some fights before that got pulled out. I was watching some YouTube clips, and some organization was interviewing you after your opponent pulled out, and you did not have very kind words for the dude. Go ahead.
Sorry. I was super frustrated at that point. You know, I drove all the way there just to find that news out. So it was pretty frustrating. And I was out for like 7 months, you know, just trying to find an opponent. So it was unfortunate that my opponent that I finally had pulled out. So, I was super frustrated, but it was just all in the moment. I have nothing bad to say about the guy, you know, it just happened. Yeah. I feel bad. I apologize for my words were.
No, no, you know what? But that's the thing, right? Because we see it happen all the time, like with fights getting pulled out. I mean, just yesterday now, when we're recording this, they announced that Khamzat's not fighting.
Yeah.
That he's pulled out because of food poisoning. I mean, how long does food poisoning take to get out of your system? Like a
literally.
day, a couple of days? Like just relax,
Yeah.
have some ginger ale. And so he's pulled out. And of course, Conor is not fighting. Raine, as we predicted, Conor is not fighting. We all if you follow this podcast, we knew he's never fighting. Give me a break.
Yes.
But when you lose these fights and stuff like that, as an amateur especially, it's even more devastating because you're like, yo, I need these fights so that I can turn pro. I need these experiences, and I need the reps, and I need the victories so that I can then go pro. That said, UNF 19 is just a few weeks away. After this fight, you win the fight. It all goes gloriously for you. What's next for Byron?
So I've been thinking about this for a while. So I think at the moment, maybe I'll defend it maybe once or twice, the amateur belt. I don't want to just kind of leave it like that up in the open. I know that the last guy did that too. So I just want something to be no disrespect to him either, but
no.
I wanted to fight that guy too, just to get that on my my little list check off before I turn pro, because he's good too. So maybe probably defend it once or twice, and then finally ready for pro. I think next year for sure is going to be the year when I turn pro.
Ooh,
nice.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. There's no rush. But there's also no rush.
Yeah.
Right? Because you want to do it. You want to do it while you're healthy and while you're ready, because time, is a weird thing and you never know where you're going to be. But I like it. I like that if you have the plan, like, hey, look, I'm going to win this title. I'm going to defend it a couple times and then make my transition to pro. Yeah, I'm excited for you, man. If you had your choice of where to go, there's so many organizations now in the world. Where do you choose? Or what is your top two? Don't just give me UFC if that's your top. Where else would you go though? What else looks appealing to a young Byron the Trophy?
So I mean, there's a lot of great promotions out there right now. I've fought for two of California's best right now. So I think for a bigger scale, for sure, maybe I would like to test my luck. Maybe somewhere in like the PFL or somewhere in one championship. Just I want to see the world, and I think fighting is a cool opportunity to do that. Yeah. But I mean, as of right now, I'm happy where I'm at, and if Up Next wants to bring me along for the first part of my pro journey, I'm definitely excited to stay with them too. So.
Oh yeah, no. Of course you're gonna fight for UNF. Of course, that's no. Like when you turn pro, it doesn't mean you're gonna go wherever. Like of course.
Yeah.
When you're pro, I do hope you stay with UNF.
Yeah.
Because they put on such a great show, and I also love that a lot of the fighters, they grow up in their organization doing the amateur, and if you can stay in that same organization to then go pro, that's really cool for them, and it's cool for you too, because you build your brand with that organization, and then you kind of keep leveraging it into the pro ranks. Now, PFL, I'm surprised that you picked that.
Yeah.
Would you want to, here's the thing, would you want to fight somewhere where they don't allow elbows?
Not really, I was just seeing because the accusation of Bellator that they received. So, I mean, I don't know how much longer Bellator is going to be a company. I don't know. I'm not super familiar on how that whole thing works. But, I mean, obviously I want to fight in a promotion that allows every rule of martial arts, because the big show is where I want to go, to the UFC. That's definitely the main goal, and that's definitely the dream. So I would want to be somewhere that's going to get me exactly ready for that, So whichever one pays the most.
Yeah, of course. But it is weird though, because when you don't allow elbows, I feel like it's just such a strange thing, because depending on your style. Okay, my cat definitely wants to be on this podcast now, Byron. Say hello to Evie. She was meowing, and now she's crawling up. There she looks a lot prettier in real life, so don't let her look at that. She's so grumpy looking. But no, it's weird, the no elbows thing, because it's such a part of your skill set, such a part of your game. To lose that is very weird. Another question I want to ask you: if you were allowed to fight in the Contender Series, right? Is there any part of you that says I wouldn't do that? Or are you just the minute you have Contender Series, you're yeah, I'm taking that?
Oh, I would definitely take that opportunity. I think, the Contender Series is just growing and growing more and more. So a lot of these fighters are getting recognized from there. There's a couple guys that I've recognized that fought on the Contender Series and now are in the UFC and very successful, you know. So
Yeah.
I would definitely take part of the Contender Series. You know, it's like that one step closer to the UFC. So I mean, it's definitely something that give you a good feeling, you know.
So here's my thing, and I was talking because I was I was commentating last weekend at Fight League Atlantic 15, amazing show. Just so you know, Byron, our guests very often win their fights more than not. Raine,
That's good.
both Sam Rhino and Chris Kalidas both won their fights.
Yay!
So the two guys that we had on for Fight League Atlantic, they both won. I'm just saying, Byron.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So I was at that event and we were talking to some of the fighters and things like that. One of the things with the Contender Series that's weird, and I just want to know your thoughts on this, Byron, is like, what I worry about is like, if you lose on the Contender Series, not that you would lose, but for the fighters that go and they lose on the Contender Series, very often you never see them again.
Yeah.
And that's always tough because I'm like, shoot, man, you didn't even really fight for UFC. You lose one fight, and it seems like that really like derails people's careers. Whereas if you're like friends of the podcast who've been on this podcast, Marcus McGee or Basil Hafez, if you just get a shot at the UFC, like they call you up for a short notice fight or something. Now, both Marcus and Basil both won. Oh, no. Basil lost his first fight.
His first, yeah.
Yeah, against JDM, yeah.
Yeah, against you. Oh, good man, Byron. So
Big
Basil goes on there, right? Short notice fight against JDM, puts on a great performance, loses, but because you go short notice or whatever, they always give you another fight.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe even more. And then next thing you know, he's won his next fight in glorious fashion against Mickey Gall, and now he's like a legit star. But if Basil had gone on Contender Series and lost by fluke because he's the greatest, he may never get to go. So it's just, that's always a weird thing to me. What do you think about that? You think I'm crazy?
No, I mean, it totally makes sense, you know, like now listening to it and like now trying to think about it. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's definitely sometimes like you don't get that opportunity most of the time after, you know, and it's still not even a guarantee that you're getting a contract if you do win in the Contender Series. So yeah, I mean, I get it exactly. I would take a short notice fight right away, you know. It puts you there, you know. So I mean, you know, whatever the call is, you know, I feel like I don't like rejecting fights, so I take anything that comes.
Yeah.
So whatever brings to the opportunity, I mean, I'll seize the moment, you know.
Would you go on The Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah, I think I'd go on The Ultimate Fighter. It looks fun, and you know, maybe the seasons nowadays are not as exciting as they used to, but I mean, I think it's a good opportunity. You know, it shows people your personality, and I think it's definitely the building blocks to create a star. So, I mean, I would take that opportunity. I'm not really good around being around a bunch of people, but I mean, it definitely be a fun experience.
I feel like Byron has the personality that would be good on TV, Raine. Like I feel like you're probably like a little bit crazy, Byron. I'm just gonna say I get the feeling that I feel like you could party it up pretty hard. And I'd like to see what happens with that, you know. What were you always looking to be a fighter? I know you said like you came from like a hard area and stuff like that, but like what and you said fighting was like just a way of your life. But at what point does like fighting in the streets translate to, look, I'm going to learn a disciplined martial art and I'm going to compete like legit? Because you can't just do that like that. You have to dedicate yourself. So what made you make that step?
So, I mean, definitely, I've been a big fan of martial arts growing up since the earliest I can remember was 6. I used to love watching the UFC with my family and stuff like that, like Strike Force and all of that stuff. So I've definitely been a huge fan of MMA my whole life. And I feel like I've always kind of known I wanted to do this with my life.
Okay.
So I was always just, you know, just trying to learn and stuff. My parents never let me do it until I turned 18. So I mean, I'm still fresh into this game, you know. Yeah, I was.
Wait, so you've only been training 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years.
What?
Wait a
Wow.
second. Hold on, Byron. I feel like you're lying to me. Your
No, I
first
swear.
fight was December 10th, 2022.
Yeah.
That's 2 years ago.
Yeah, I was a couple months fresh in there, and I wasn't even
Yeah?
training fully consistently yet. I was working at my job, and I just couldn't find a stable schedule to be training all the time. So I just made that decision. I signed up for a fight. I told my coach, like I want to do this, and I ever since then I just gave my all into it and all my time. I don't really have a life outside of fighting right now, so this is definitely this it's a big sacrifice, but it's definitely a goal that I've always wanted to do, and it's a dream that I'm still able to chase. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and you're young, dude. You're gonna chase your dream. I mean, we just had Vanessa Campos on. You saw her there. She's a
Yeah.
commentator out at MCP Greece, and she was saying, like, look, you got to we have to chase our
Mhm.
dreams. Like you got to chase it. You're 20 years young. You've got like so much time ahead of you. What was I gonna say? I lost it. But 22, or sorry, 2 years, 2022. You take your first fight only a few months in. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy that you're now here 5 fights in, fighting for a title. Like think of
Mhm.
yourself 2 years ago. Could you ever
Yeah.
have imagined that this was going to be your life?
I mean, definitely. I think like I've been just fortunate, like I'm able to pick up things fast and stuff.
Mhm.
I put a lot of time and effort into my art. So I mean, definitely looking back, I don't think I would have seen myself being in this position that I've been in, and definitely with the record that I have, I don't want to say luck, but I mean it's definitely something that's kind of also like I fought a lot of guys that are on paper better than me, like purple belts in jiu-jitsu or brown belts in jiu-jitsu, and then guys that have been training for 10 years plus. So I mean it's just, I think it's my tenacity and dedication that I have for the sport and the love for the sport that it's definitely driven me to push harder. And I have a lot of people riding on me, so I don't want to make them. I just want to make my people that doubted me proud, So that's it.
Aw.
Who's doubting you, Byron?
I'm telling you, it's like I guess like from where I grew up. I mean, there's not that many people that do big things. So I mean, I definitely just didn't want to be a statistic, So I've
Mhm.
always
Yeah.
thought my whole life I was gonna be a lot. I always thought I was gonna do something big. So I mean, this is my
Yeah.
calling. This is luckily that God's gave me the opportunity to be healthy and come out of that situation with my chin up and just pure focus.
That's wicked, man. I'm so happy for you. Your family's happy that you're doing this. They support you in this.
Yeah, definitely now, they're huge supporters. They were always like, I don't know, fighting and stuff like that. But after I took my first win, they definitely saw that how much I
Yeah.
cared about this and how much time I put in. And I think that's what they were more scared of, just seeing if I was going to be able to do this. And that's what I thought going into the first fight. I just wanted to prove to myself, this is my calling. And I knew it as soon as the door closed. I just felt at peace, it was kind of weird feeling.
Nice. I'm happy for you, man. Girlfriend? You have a girlfriend?
Yeah, I do have a girlfriend now. It's it's been great. I'm super excited to have her now in my corner. This is gonna be my first fight having her. So
Wait, she's gonna be in your corner?
No.
No.
I'm saying like just on my
Like-
side.
like-
Now.
Oh,
like,
okay, yeah.
Okay.
just being with me. So it's definitely more motivation too, because she also strives for big things also. So I think we just push each other to be great, and that's exciting. Just having two people that are super dedicated on what they like to do, and we met through fighting too, so it's cool, just the way it worked out.
When you say she's dedicated to what she's doing, she's a fighter as well?
No, she's not a fighter. She's a actress and model, which is cool. And
Whoa, hey.
No.
All right,
Yeah,
calm down, Byron.
definitely I'm a lucky guy, especially too, because I mean I don't really have that much time to be outside. So I mean, she's definitely, we both make sacrifices for each other, but I feel like we're both super proud of what each other are becoming, and we definitely just try to push our agenda and making it to where we want to be.
That's nice, dude. Well, congratulations. I'm happy that you're so happy. Again, like now that you're in a relationship and you've got your girlfriend, I'm not going to ask you to be on Raine and Mai's dating show, but so that's fine. We struck out on 2 guests today, Raine.
I
We're not
know.
doing very well. Like, no, but I'm happy for you, man. That's awesome, and I'm glad that she's supportive and that your family's supportive. Raine, what do you want to ask the man from UNF 19?
Well, before I ask my 2 questions for you, Byron, I love that he mentioned how fighting is his art, because that's what Vanessa said to earlier, right? That fighting is an art, right? So it's cool to just hear that, from both of our guests today. The first question is actually really quick, Byron. Now that I know that you're from a South Central LA, have you ever been to Lucha Pro on Florence Avenue?
I've definitely seen the flyers.
Because I have ring announced there before, a few times actually.
It's hilarious because I used to be a huge wrestling fan growing up. And then I found out it was fake, so I was like, damn, it kind of just broke my heart a little bit. And my friend actually used to go watch those too, so I mean, he told me they were pretty cool shows.
Yeah. What I loved about doing Lucha Pro down on Florence Avenue in South Central LA is that I saw how the community was, right? Because it got to a point where I would see the same people, because they were just like supporting, these young wrestlers who were, like you said, just chasing their dreams, right? Trying to put on a good show for the community. So I thought that was like, a really fun event. But yeah, there's always those flyers and this big banner outside with like masked wrestlers and all that. My second question for you is that UNF 17 was your first time fighting for UNF, and now you're doing UNF 19, title fight. All of the promotions that UNF has done for you, content day, all the pictures, the video promos and all that. How does that feel for an amateur fighter like yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it feels amazing. It makes you feel like you're that one step closer to just being on that big show. So I mean, the way they definitely do it, it's one of the better promotions that I fought for, and they definitely make me feel welcomed all the time and great. So it's a tight-knit family, and I care about each and every one of them there because they truly care about us as the fighters also. So, I mean, I'm just super grateful that they allow me to just put on for them,
Not one of the best promotions, Byron. The best promotion that you have ever fought for.
Yeah, definitely. No, I mean, it definitely is, like, I don't want to hurt any other people's feelings, but I mean,
they're not watching this, Byron. They're not watching this. They're already mad. They're already mad that you abandoned them. The only people watching this are goddamn UNF fans that are here to watch Byron. Yeah.
No, they're definitely great. Yeah, I do contribute a lot of my success to them also. They've been trying to get me a fight for a long time. So it's probably been over maybe a year since they were trying to get me a fight. So that last fight obviously was finally I was able to get locked in with somebody. And I'm grateful for that guy too, because he took that fight on 3 weeks notice also. And I mean, it was definitely a successful show.
Yeah. No, I'm happy, man. I'm going to ask you my famous last question. But before we do, because when we get like Raine always likes us to have 2 guests, Byron, because she doesn't like to talk to me. So we always try to get 2 guests to fill the whole time. But I cannot let this podcast go without getting your guys' reaction to the Conor fight being off. Byron, I mean, are you surprised that it's off?
I mean, I wouldn't say surprised. I mean, it's definitely, I'm one of those people that I'll get excited like the day that it happens. Like it was definitely gonna be cool. I was gonna fight for a belt the weekend after Conor McGregor, so it was definitely gonna be pretty like hyped up for it. But I mean, unfortunately, that didn't happen. I mean, there's a good main event now. I
really
rewatching the fight. Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's a good main event.
It's not a good main event. I don't know, man. Like what, Pereira versus Prohashka, right?
Yeah.
That's not a great main event. And then the Jamal Hill pulls out.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be Jamal Hill versus Khalil Roundtree. Khalil Roundtree pulls out. They replace him with Ulberg. Now Hill pulls out and you replace him with Anthony Smith.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, just get that fight off the card. Like, I don't even know why that's like, it's like a replacement for a replacement for a replacement. In a few more guys pull out, I'm going to be the co-main event of UFC 303. You know what I mean? Like how, like it's ridiculous. Okay. My question is to both of you, Raine and Byron. How long does Michael Chandler wait for this fight. You keep waiting?
I don't know. I mean, I guess if he's really determined to fight Conor, right? I mean, he has to wait, but like, I mean, I do understand the that he needs to fight at some point, but I mean, he can. The problem with that
he's a
is that what
fighter,
if,
so
well, yeah, but the problem with that is that what if like he decides to fight, you know, in 2 months, and then like Conor decides, okay, I'm ready now, but then Chandler's not available, you know, so that's kind of like the dilemma there.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough situation, I think. You know, like Chandler waited 2 years to fight Conor and felt like he was finally there, and then Conor pulls out. So I mean, I do agree with Raine. I'm like, how much longer can you wait? Because also, if he does take a fight now, it's a situation. If you win and you come out banged up, you lose that fight. If you lose and come out, you're probably not getting that fight either. So I think it's lose-lose for Chandler at this point. I think maybe just wait until this next date for Conor, and after that, just just give up. Just fight somebody else.
But okay, it has been so long since Chandler has fought. Do you know how long ago it's been, Raine?
No.
Byron the Trophy Valle hadn't even fought his first fight. It was November 12th, 2022 was the last time Chandler fought. Byron has fought 5 times since Chandler has fought because Chandler's been waiting for this goddamn fight. I think it's crazy. At this point, it's so sad. And then I'm going to put something up here that he said. I think it was on wherever he said this. It says, "Don't you dare disrespect me by feeling sorry for me. Don't you dare disrespect me by having any kind of sympathy. Be emboldened by my situation. Be emboldened by my steadfastness and my immovability of hitching my dreams to a shooting star and continuing to move forward." He hasn't hitched it to a shooting star. He's hitched it to a rock that's just sitting there not doing anything. I find that such a weird comment. Like, I feel like he's really mentally messed up. No offense to Michael Chandler fans, but I feel like he's really lost sight of what the hell's going on here. I mean,
maybe he's just like really determined to fight Conor. You know, that's something that, you know, probably in his career checklist, right? Like, okay, Conor McGregor, I want to check that box off. But
the money, no doubt, it's the money. But he hasn't fought for 2 years. He could have fought just regular dudes and probably not made as much money, but at least like your legacy, like everything happens. Byron, when you become a UFC superstar, I don't want you waiting on people, dude. You're the star.
Yeah.
I don't care. You don't wait on anybody else. Like, you are the star. You go fight and kick ass, man.
Oh, for sure. I don't see anybody, at that level of Conor at this moment. So I mean, I probably wouldn't have waited for Conor either, to be honest with you. I think I would have just kept on fighting. It's consistent money coming in, just Chandler's wasted 2 years of his career, not just his life waiting for Conor, his career. And he's just getting up there in age. So I mean, it's now or never,
He's 38 years old,
Yeah.
Time is a ticking, and you don't got that many fights left in you. Like, he could have already achieved like the BMF title or the lightweight title. Who knows? You could have gone and achieved other things. If he never gets this fight, even if you made a run for the title, and then let's say, like, kind of like Dustin, like, you don't get it, and then you kind of got to restart and make another run, you've run out of time. You just wasted 2 years. Like, and now you may go down in history as never being a UFC champion. He was a Bellator champion, but that doesn't mean that much. So he's a UFC, right? Like, you'll never have got that UFC title. Like, the most famous thing you'll be known for is not fighting Conor McGregor.
Yeah, for real.
I don't know. Byron, don't wait. Just go get the UFC title and come back on this podcast. You understand?
I got you guys.
Yeah. Good. Man, I really appreciate you coming on, dude. It's been an honor and a pleasure to meet you. I'm so excited to see you fight. Raine, is there anything that you need from him before you announce him?
No, I was actually going to ask him if he has any nickname, but he already told us earlier.
Got it.
Fight Insight podcast exclusive. Breaking news. Ding, 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 ding,
breaking
ding.
news.
Listen to the podcast to find out Byron's nickname. Incredible. Byron, anything that you've got to say to, normally I say to fans, viewers, and listeners, but I want to say, is there anything that you want to say to people that are watching this podcast, maybe from your hometown?
Yeah, I mean, just don't give up, you guys. Like
Mhm.
I know there's gonna be these hard times and these tough times, and maybe not all of you guys are fortunate enough to just go through the situations that you are going through. But I mean, I feel like definitely if you have a dream, just make sure you follow it. I know it's cliche, but I'm living my dream right now, and definitely a lot of people didn't see me doing it, and I just feel like now it's definitely gotten to that point where it's motivational for other people. So if you feel like you want to inspire people, just keep on chasing, and just keep on proving all the haters wrong, and just all the people that doubted you, just keep on pushing,
Yeah, dude. Kick ass, man. Last question I want to ask you, man. Last question. You heard me ask it to Vanessa before you, but I want to ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you?
I am as happy as can be. I feel like I just keep on persevering through everything that I've gone through, and it's just I'm happy. I feel like God's been blessing me recently. And everybody tells me, that they feel like I'm gonna do something big. So it's also just more, just everything makes me feel happy at this point. I don't have no enemies. I don't have nothing. I brush off things. I'm definitely a changed person than I used to be. So I feel like now I don't get affected by much. So I'm just always constantly happy. I got a great family. I got great support. Got a beautiful girlfriend. I got just
a
everything.
Model girlfriend. A model girlfriend.
Yeah, she's definitely amazing. So I mean, I'm just happy. I just want to keep on making people proud and just keep on inspiring. So
that's incredible, dude. At 20 years old,
Mm-hmm.
to be this mature, to have your life focused on where you're headed, to be the kind of person you are, Byron, you should be very proud of yourself, man. Very, very proud of yourself, of what you're achieving and what you're doing, and the people that you're inspiring. Raine, we said it to Vanessa because she's inspiring young kids and people around the world as well herself, and then here's Byron doing the exact same thing as well. It's so cool. That's what martial arts does, man. It brings these very cool personalities and people to the forefront for other people to look at and emulate and model. So Byron, man, congratulations, buddy. Congratulations. I'm very excited to see you fight again, guys. If you want to check it out, it's right there. UNF 19, Saturday, July 6th. Go get your tickets at upnextfighting.com. Raine is going to be there. Byron is going to be there. Jesse is going to be there, who we had on the podcast a few weeks ago. And again, next week, we have another UNF fighter.
Anthony Romero.
Do you know Anthony Romero, Byron?
Yeah, that's my teammate. We just finished wrestling.
Oh! Did you know he's a teammate? I was worried you guys were enemies or something.
No. Yeah, no, that's my teammate right there. No, I'm gonna get beat up by him later on. So definitely, he's a good guy.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have him on next week.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's definitely entertaining. Yeah.
All right, very cool, very cool. And do you know Jesse Strader? We had him on. He's the main event, I think, on the 19th.
Yeah, I met Jesse Strader last time. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, good guy. Wait, you sound like he's not a good guy.
No. I was laughing because Chris Buckner, the owner of he was trying to just matchmake us for when I turned pro. So.
Wait, matchmake you against Jesse?
Yeah, he said maybe that's your future opponent when later on down.
Once you become pro.
Yeah, once when I turn pro.
He's trying to foresee the future.
I thought Jesse was trying to sandbag and go back into amateurs. I'm like, whoa, professional Jesse Strader, get out of here.
No, definitely great guy. I could tell. I could just tell on people. Yeah, definitely.
No, he's a good guy, man. Well, best of luck to you, Byron, man. All the best to you in your upcoming fight and in your career. When you become famous, don't forget us.
I won't.
Come back to the podcast.
Come back to the podcast, Byron.
Definitely will.
Yeah. All right, man. All the best to you. Take care of yourself. Thank you so much for coming to the podcast, and we'll have you on again soon.
All right. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I appreciate it. All right. Have a good one.
See you later, buddy. Have a good one. See ya. Bye. All right,
that is
Raine.
awesome. That is
our show. We went a little bit long again. Here's my thing to all of our guests, I apologize when I can't put out clips of every single part and everything. I feel so bad. I want to get to everything, but life happens, Raine. Life happens, and it's so tough. I do want to say thank you, of course, to Up Next Fighting. Thank you to their fighters. Thank you to Vanessa Campos. Last week on the podcast, because we filmed it a few weeks ago, but, you know, Joe Martinez, he called us not the worst podcast he's ever been on. Success. He had a laugh at that, and you know, and then of course, and then we had Jose Rubio from Fight Night Customs, who was a great dude too. So all the people that we're meeting, Raine, is so awesome. But thank you so much. And you must be excited because you've got UNF 19 coming up a few weeks too.
Yeah, 3 weeks from now, we will have UNF 19 at the Commerce Casino right here in Los Angeles, California. Get your tickets at upnextfighting.com. You will see Byron Valle, our guest next week, Anthony Romero, Jesse Strader, and a whole lot more of amazing fighters. So don't miss it. And say hi to me. If you're a fan of the show, friend of the show, please do say hi to me.
Autographs are $5, first come, first serve. Can't wait. Raine, I mean, it's so exciting. I didn't even clip any parts of Jesse. I think I did it for a story, but I didn't do a reel. But I still want to get to that because he gave us so much great content. That dude is hilarious. Byron is great, and then of course then we got your guy next, and plus you. Like, it's so hard to promote everything. I don't know how these promoters do it, Raine. Like, I'll tell you what, going there to FLA 15, I haven't even talked about that, which I feel bad because now it's been like almost 2 weeks ago when this podcast comes out. What an experience. Raine, it's 2 guys that own Fight League Atlantic and like a handful of people that help put everything together, like putting up the cages. And then there's like another like 5 people working like the doors and the venues and the merch. It is so crazy how few people are responsible for so many people's dreams. Hunter Savage, Raine, the Hunter Savage fight, insane.
Really?
I'm gonna take 2 minutes to talk about this. Okay, Hunter Savage goes out there, same as his last fight where he almost got knocked out. Like, he took a really hard shot in his first fight, and then it woke up the beast, and then he went to town on the dude and got the win. Right? In his second fight, he goes out there, and the other guy, Brady Rushton, good fighter, they were going back and forth like crazy. Hunter gets hit a few times, you know, and as Vanessa was saying, like, I can't be one-sided. Like, I can't be like, damn it, you know, because I'm trying to, you know, I'm commentating for both. But of course, we know Hunter a little bit more. And Hunter gets rocked. I think loses the first round. And then in the second round, starts going crazy. And like really performing well, definitely wins it. He gets a point taken away because in amateurs you can't hit to the head of a grounded opponent.
Oh, okay.
But he like knocks the guy down kind of as he's falling. He hits him, but the ref says that he hit him in the face as he was on the ground, so he gets a point taken away. So much drama. It was so amazing to commentate because there was like so much drama going on. The crowd is insane. And then in the third round, he gets another knockdown and then kind of hits some low blow. Kinda. I'm going to say go on Hunter Savage's Instagram to take a look because he's on a media tour right now kind of showing what happened in the fight. But it was crazy. And then he ends up losing it by a technical decision because the guy can't continue. But it was one of the best fights like I've ever seen. It was crazy fight. And like Hunter Savage is such a cool dude, Raine. Like, I can't even express to you how cool I really like that kid. There's such good things in this guy's future. Like, just the personality that he is, and like, he's such a humble kid, you know? It reminds me a lot of Byron because it's just these young kids chasing their dreams. So, but boy, oh boy, I want to give a shout out to Hunter because it was a great fight. All the fighters at Fight League Atlantic on that card, every single fighter made weight. Like first weigh-in, like they all made weight. They were all such professionals, all the amateurs, all the pros, and just the whole event went off like beautifully in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia at the Zatzman Sportsplex. It was a great venue. Like, congratulations to Derek and John and the whole Fight League Atlantic crew. Like, just fantastic. So I just don't want to let this podcast go without saying that. But Raine, fantastic event. And I can't wait for UNF 19.
Oh, thank you. No, and congrats to you too, because I know that's like the first time that your wife actually went to go see an FLA event in
Yeah.
person. So, and you've been kicking ass as a
It was
commentator.
a good event. It was a good event. I'm excited to hear it back, but people did say some nice things, so I'm grateful. Of course, I commentated with John Morgan, who's like a legend in MMA media. And then what's so funny, I'll end it with this. We go to a bar for the after party for Chris Kalidas. There's some drunk kids that I'm walking in with John Morgan, and this one guy is just like, I can't believe you're the guy. For like 40 minutes, this kid is taking selfie after selfie with John, and like, I can't believe you're here. I can't.
Oh my God.
I got to tell my friends it's you. I don't know how to. I can't. This kid was so starstruck. It was so funny. Like, he had to be like in his mid-20s. Like, it's not like a kid, but like, it's so weird because you're in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia at a bar on a Saturday night, and in comes this guy that you've probably seen on TV your whole life. And if you're a fight fan, you're like, why is this guy in my bar? Like, what's happening right now? And you're drunk as a skunk, like, you know. So it's very, but it was. And John Morgan couldn't be a nicer guy. What a gentleman, super nice guy. And with that kid, I mean, just the whole night, he must have taken 100 selfies with that kid, because I think the kid was so drunk he didn't know that he had taken 100 selfies before. So he kept taking, and John was just such a nice guy. It was so funny. It was such a great experience, the whole thing. So yeah, very, very cool. Raine, we're out of here. This is another long podcast, but that's cool when we've got good guests.
For a great reason.
Give them their time. That's right. You know what I mean? Raine, thank you so much. It's been a wonderful
thank you
time.
as well.
And it's great to see you again. Next week is
Byron.
going to be freaking crazy. Get ready.
Can't wait.
Get your Australian accent ready.
I'll try.
That was a cue for you to go like, that's not a knife, that's a knife.
Oh no.
Do you have any Australian saying you'd like to say?
No, I no. I feel bad because I have an Australian friend.
And you're going to be mocking them. All right, that's it. We're out of here. Goodbye, Raine.
Bye.